Hi, Michael Yardney here with our weekly Rich Habits, Poor Habits video webcast. Hi, Tom in the United States.
Hi, Michael in Australia.
And I just wanted to say, Tom, how pleased I am at how well our book, Rich Habits, Poor Habits, is going, because it's actually created quite a lot of interest. It's combined my study of the 2,000 people that I have mentored over the last 10 years and your study, and it's creating quite a wave, isn't it?
Yeah, I really think that that book provides so much information. It's really one-stop shopping, you know, Michael?
It is. So if you haven't had a chance to get it yet, richhabitspoorhabits.com, and you can get the hard copy or you can get the digital copy on Google Play or Apple or Amazon. But today, Tom, I want to discuss an important topic as a parent, and this is really important for anyone who is a parent or who wants to become a parent, or I guess, Tom, anyone who's even got a parent, because it's what will your child be like? Will they be rich? Will they be poor? And how important our parents are in our habits, our rich habits, Tom.
Yeah, and you know, I have so many studies on this, Michael. And one of the studies, I think were 50,000 people in the study, 50,000 parents, and or 50,000 individuals. And what they found out was that these individuals had picked up the vast majority of their habits by age 9. So parents have an incredible influence over their kids, whether they know it or not. I mean, what happens up until age 9? Well, who are the kids with? They're with the parents most of the time, and they're just starting out in school. So they're picking up most of the habits from the parents, some of them from school, but most of them from the parents.
Well, it's interesting because we often speak about mentors, Tom, and for us as adults, but as a child, who is your mentor? As you correctly say, it's your parents. And it's interesting because at my seminars, Tom, I ask people who has noticed as they get older, they become more like their parents. And a few people put up their hands. So then I say, well, actually, who's noticed that your spouse, your life partner, has become more like their parents as they get older? And they all laugh and giggle and they put up their hands, because it's true, we become more like them. I guess apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So how do we influence future generations' wealth? And it's not by transferring money from the rich to the poor, as some of the websites and some of the social media commentators are saying. It's really by instilling good habits in our children, isn't it, Tom?
It is, and this is, you know, why I harp on this so much. I think that parents don't recognize how critical they are in the success of their children when their children grow up and become adults. They don't realize that their kids are watching them. And what's interesting is there's physiology behind this, Michael. There's something called mirror neurons. The mirror neurons exist up until about the age of 7 or 8. They're there for a purpose. They never fully go away, but they're abundant in kids. And the purpose for those mirror neurons is so that kids can emulate their parents, for expressly so that they can. It's a survival mechanism. If they're doing what their parents are doing, they're probably going to survive.
That makes sense. So what message do you think the average parent is giving their children about money?
That's the problem. I don't think they're giving them any message. I think all the kids see, for the most part, are parents fighting about money. So kids have a negative emotional connection to money by virtue of the fact that most people aren't rich. They're either stuck in the middle class, or they're, you know, poor, or they're, you know, in the lower middle class. And so all their emotional connection to money is a negative one.
Well, there's things that they hear, so the discussions and the fights and the arguments. And to be honest, I grew up hearing a lot about arguments and fights. My parents could never make the money budget at the end of the month, and it wasn't my mother's fault, but my father was very cross with that. And that gave me a lot of, when I was young, negative thoughts about money. But it made me also very angry about money, which wasn't good to start with, and I had to learn about that later. But I knew no different. Tom, what are some of the bad daily habits that children see in their parents related to money?
Well, the worst, Michael, is they see their parents sitting on the couch for hours and hours watching TV shows, reality TV, watching, sort of soap operas or comedies, but they're always entertainment that they're watching on TV. It's never, National Geographic TV or anything educational. For the most part, they're watching TV that doesn't add any value to their lives. And so they pick up that TV watching habit. And another habit is they see their parents, when they're watching TV, eating junk food, having a beer, having some wine. And the other one is they see their parents smoking cigarettes. They see my dad used to take me to off-track betting. That was a place where you could go to bet on horses. And he wasn't a big gambler, but it stuck with me. I must have gone about 100 times with my dad. Oh, we got to stop by here. And we'd go to off-track betting, and I'd see all these people smoking cigars or cigarettes, betting their money, throwing their money away, basically. And I thought, well, that's normal.
Of course you do, because you've got nothing else to compare it with. And I think this goes back to a lot of the things you found in your general study of the rich habits and the poor habits that you describe in your excellent books. And then we've got in our joint book, Rich Habits, Poor Habits, things like that the wealthy know their credit score while the poor don't. Things like the poor play the lottery while the wealthy don't. The poor see the lottery, I guess, as their way out, as you said, or betting is their way out of the rat race. The wealthy are focused on goals and they know where they're heading while the poor don't. You found in your study that the wealthy eat healthily, they study, they keep reading. So I think the question we've got to ask ourselves as parents is, what are we teaching our children in the things we say, in the things that we don't say, because some people don't even talk about money, and in what they see? Because if you're giving a lot of these poor habits to your children, what hope have they got in the future?
Yeah, that's the point. Parents are often the only shot any of us have at having a mentor in life. Finding mentors are hard to come by, Michael. I'm very blessed because my son found a mentor at work, and as a result, he's doing really well. But most people don't find mentors, so they're trying to figure it out on their own. And when you finding a mentor is the fast track to success. So if parents, take up the role of being a success mentor to the kids, they're way ahead. They're putting their kids way ahead of like 95% of the competition.
So is it too late if I'm a parent watching this video and maybe I haven't discussed these things or shown the right habits? Is it too late?
Well, it's not if you still have kids and your objective is to mentor the kids. It's never too late. I mean, your kids are constantly watching what you do. It doesn't stop at any particular age. I mean, I can tell you that until the kids actually leave the house, leave the nest, they're under your influence and they're watching everything that you do.
So I guess in summary, we've realized that parents teach their children good habits that lead to success, while the average parent teaches their children bad habits, what we call poor habits. But they don't recognize it because to them it's normal. No one wants to be a bad parent. No one wants to be a bad person. And that's why we in our study have found in Rich Habits, Poor Habits, and then written it down. We've explained what these habits are. And in next week's video, Tom, I'd actually like to go through the habits we can instill in our children. But before I finish off in this session, I want to explain that the first part of becoming a good parent is recognizing what's necessary in this sphere. Of course, there's a lot of other important parts where you're good parents, and we're not talking about money, but the first is recognizing it, then realizing some of your bad habits and getting rid of them and replacing with good habits. So, Tom, can we come back next week and talk about some good habits that we can do to engender wealthy habits in our kids?
Yes, let's do that, Michael. This is an important topic.
And if you've enjoyed this, and if you know anyone who's a parent, would you please pass this on? Click the like button if you're watching it on Facebook. If you got it from Twitter, if you're seeing it in our blogs, please forward it as well. Pass this forward because you're going to then be starting one of the good habits, which is that of gratitude, helping Tom and me, and one of passing it forward. So look forward to seeing you next week, Tom.
Thanks, Michael.